Let's compare 4/10 and 1/10. These two fractions have something in common. Take a look at them. What's the same? The denominator is the same. So we say that these two fractions have like denominators, which is going to make it really easy to compare them. When you're talking about a fraction, you want to think of a whole, like a whole cake, whole pizza, and then you have to split it up. And then we're talking about how many pieces you get. The denominator is how many times you have to split it up or how many pieces it's split into. So let's say that I had a whole cake, but since the denominator is 10, I have to split it into 10 pieces. So that's what the pieces are gonna look like. They're actually pretty small. I mean, that's like if I bake a cake and I have to share it with 10 people, including myself, right? We're all gonna get a smaller piece. Well, let's look at that other fraction. 1/10 happens to have the same denominator anyways, so it's actually gonna look the same. I made a cake and I split it into 10 pieces, and that's how small the pieces are. So since the two denominators are the same, they don't matter. These two cakes have been split up the same way. So we do need to look at the numerator. The numerator is how many pieces you get. So just looking at 4/10 versus 1/10, would you rather have 4 pieces or 1 piece? And then we can go ahead and we'll fill this in so that we have our model. So 4 of these pieces looks like this versus 1 piece looks like that. Since the pieces are the same size anyways, we can assume that having more would be better, right? So 4/10 is the greater fraction. And when you are making your less than and greater than symbols, I always think about it as if it's an alligator that wants to eat the bigger fraction, or you can think of it as Pac-Man that wants to eat the bigger fraction. And when you draw it, you're going to draw it so that the mouth is opening towards the bigger fraction, which in this case is 4/10. And you can always draw models like this to help you. But remember, the denominator is how many people you're sharing with or how many like slices you have to cut it into. But if the denominator is the same either way, then the cake is going to be split up into these little pieces either way. And so then we're just asking ourselves who gets more of those pieces.